get our full-blown acceleration here. Hey everyone, it's Ben Hardy here, and in today's video, I'm going to be going over the all-new Subaru WRX, and this particular one has the manual transmission. Before we get in this video though, a huge shout out and thank you to the Nate Wade Subaru here in Salt Lake City, Utah for giving me some time with this WRX. I'll include a link to their inventory in the description down below so you can check out what they have currently. And then on a side note, if you want to save time and money the next time you purchase a car, link to my car buying guide in the description down below. Let's get into it. So under the hood, we have a turbocharged 2.4 liter flat 4-cylinder that goes through a 6-speed manual transmission. Fuel economy is 19 around town and then 26 on the highway, with power outputs being 271 horsepower at 5,600 RPMs and then 258 pound-feet of torque from 2,000 RPMs to 5,200 RPMs. Now, before we go over the front end, I do want to mention, if you want to see more videos just like this, then I recommend you subscribe because I post content every single day. So we have the WRX's signature hood scoop there in the center, which looks so cool, and I like the rest of the hood design as well. Pretty sharp looking headlights here with the WRX, and you guys can see the fog lights down below. And then notice you got like the metallic gray coloration for the grille, you got the Subaru logo there in the front and center. And putting it all together, seeing this in person in this silver color, I'd say it looks pretty sweet. Come around the side here, our tire wheel setup is 245, 40, 18 in the front and over in the rear as well. And then you guys can see with the wheels, you've got the metallic gray coloration, and it's actually a decent amount of sidewall on the tires, so that should make ride quality pretty solid. Now we have the most controversial part of the new WRX. Yeah, it's the fender flares. I will say in person, they don't look as bad as in the photos. And then you guys can see the bodywork here on the side. On top of that, notice body painted mirror and then door handles as well. And taking a look at the full side profile, yeah, the WRX does look kind of funky with those fender flares, but something to note is you can paint them very easily after the fact. I've seen a bunch of people do it, and it looks really good once they're painted. So here's a key fob for the WRX. We have our Subaru logo as the unlock function, our lock function, and then the opening for the trunk. Now, actually popping inside, first off, you notice we got WRX there on the floor mat. And when it comes to storage space, it's actually really solid. That's one of the big benefits of the WRX is it's a practical sedan. And then when you're all done, just plop that down. Notice another Subaru logo. And then you guys can see all of our badges here on the back. And then you've got the taillights here on the WRX, which definitely unique. I will say though, I think it works with the design. And then look at that low profile spoiler and the diffuser and the exhaust tips here at the bottom. This looks pretty dang aggressive. Look at that, there's also a vortex generator there on the roof. Anyways, seeing this in person in this color, I actually like it quite a bit. I like it more than I thought I would. Now with the door panel in the rear, you guys can see we've got cloth trim here, and then look at the padding down below, and then we've got the carbon fiber print window control, which is automatic. And then taking a look at the seat, you guys can see the red stitching, and then look at like the cloth trim here with more of that red stitching. I definitely think it's a cool design. Legroom here in the back is solid. We got some USB action, and then we have a storage pocket there, but not for me. And then headroom in the back here is also good. And yes, this does in fact have a cup holder armrest. Now with the front door panel, you guys can see again with the cloth trim and then the padding down below. We've got all of our window controls right here with your mirror adjustment. Again, more of that carbon fiber print. And yeah, altogether, I think it looks great. Now taking a look at the front seat here, again, look at the stitching and then look at the trim there with the center seat. And also you can kind of see, got some red inside of it. And then the seat is manually adjustable. And WRX, look at those pedals, 3-pedal layout, gotta love that. Also, we got like our trunk release and then your stability control, and then the steering wheel is manually adjustable. So taking a look at the steering wheel, we've got really nice padding all around. You've got the red stitching there in the center. We got more of that carbon fiber print with the WRX logo. This does have regular cruise control. You've got some controls for the center stack. You've got voice command controls, you know, the normal stuff. And then of course we have a turn signal light stock and then a windshield wiper stock. So here's the center gauge cluster. I have an accessory mode, that's why you have all of the lights on, but analog gauges, and then you got a little screen there in the center. This has been in Subarus for a little bit of time, so you know, nothing too crazy. Now in reverse, you do have a backup camera with trajectory lines, and they will turn with the steering wheel. Resolution on the system is also really solid. Now, as to the rest of the infotainment system, this is Subaru's unit that they put in pretty much all of their cars. Notice we've got our little heated seat controls at the bottom. And then on top of that, you've got your climate controls as well. I like how it's just here at the bottom, so it's always easy to access. And you do have physical buttons for the climate system as well. And then we've got our radio controls on top of that. Overall response time of the screen is, I think, great. It's pretty easy to use overall. And let's actually pop into the little car tab right here, so there's not a lot to see with the WRX, but anyways, there's the screen. We got some USB action here with a 12 volt, and then you guys can see some more storage down below that. So here's our shifter for the new WRX. First off, with the reverse lockout, you pull this up and then push it back to the side. Now as for the shifter itself, it's pretty notchy getting into the gears, which I think feels great. This doesn't feel too different from the previous generation WRX STI with the shifter. I think it's pretty close to that. Definitely different from the regular WRX, but this is more in tune with, I guess, last generation STI. And then here is our parking brake. We've got some cup holder action and then center console, heat storage, and then you guys can see hard touch there on the top, which makes sense because you can't really use that as an armrest with where it's located. And then I like this trim here on the top. And then glove box, solid. Now up top we do have controls here for the sunroof, and yeah, we do have a sunroof at the top. So here's a window sticker for this WRX. This one's a premium package. Almost everything we went over is standard equipment. I love how it says sport tuned suspension with active torque vectoring. It'll be interesting to see how it drives. But anyways, $32,105 is the base MSRP. This has a few options added to it. Total MSRP on this one, $36,079. And I don't know if I mentioned at the beginning of the video, but Nate Wade Subaru doesn't mark up their cars at all. So anyways, let's see how it drives. Well, let's talk about visibility before we set off. Here's visibility of the hood, both of the mirrors, and then throughout the rest of the rear. And, well, it's actually been a minute since I've driven a manual transmission car. Obviously, most modern cars at this point are automatics. And so, yeah, I'm used to reviewing automatics, and I happen to not own a manual at this point, which I guess is a big red flag for me as a car journalist, because am I a real car journalist if I don't own a manual transmission car? So maybe I gotta buy something. First off, like setting off 2 feet in this WRX, I am already absolutely in love with this car. Wow, shifter's really good. It feels better than, you know, when I was just shifting there on the little walk around portion. Suspension is pretty firm, which is expected. Again, it's more of a sporty type car. The shifter is really good. Holy crap. Just like, you know, prior, you know, WRX models and STI models. I don't know what I'm saying here, but hopefully you guys get the point. It's really blippable with the engine. The thing about flat 4 cylinders compared to inline 4 cylinders is they're just way more blippable in general. Like they just pop right up. They like to rev. Inline 4 cylinders don't really like to rev all that much. And you can definitely feel the torque on this is a lot better compared to the previous version. The previous WRX, I feel like you had to rev it out a little bit more. This, not so much. Man, I love this shifter. Not so sure about like the head itself. I'm kind of more of a fan like the metallic shifters, but obviously those get hot. Whereas this is going to stay neutral temperature wise, no matter if it's like, it's super cold today and the shifter is actually the warmest thing that I'm touching. It's warmer than the steering wheel, funny enough. And actually, let's turn on our heated seat here. There we go. It's another nice feature. Yeah, super easy to rev match downshift with this. Yeah, I will say is the suspension's not like punishing, but you can definitely tell that this is a sports car. You can definitely tell that. Going over the roads and everything. Steering is really light. That's something else that I'm noticing here with this new WRX. Steering is super light. Yeah, you get so much torque in the low end. Gosh, this shifter. Again, I haven't driven a manual car in quite some time. And just diving back in with this WRX, it's actually going really well, frankly. Yeah, honestly, I'm pretty dang impressed with this. I like the brake feel too. I think the braking is good. Yeah, I mean, I think the best way for me to describe this car is this feels more similar to the previous generation STI than it feels to the previous generation WRX. It really does. Yeah, turn-in's really good, man. This car is sharp. This is a fun car. It's got, like, the power's really good. I like this power band. I really do like this power band. Yeah, I'm super impressed with this. And, you know, this is a manual transmission that you actually want to use. I couldn't say the same about the previous generation WRX. The shifter itself and everything, just the points, it didn't feel as good. This, I feel like I'm getting rewarded for shifting the gears. It's really fun. We'll get a full-blown acceleration here. I just want to play it safe because we're low on gas, so I don't want to run out of gas. But yeah, the suspension's different than I thought it would be. You know, Subaru is kind of saying that this is supposed to be more of like a rally WRX, right? That's why they put the cladding on and everything. I'm sure this would do fine because like it's handling these bumps really well. Like it's staying planted, but you feel it. I guess that's the best way to put it. Is it stays nice and planted, so it is handling the bumps, but it's not like getting rid of them. Like some vehicles will just completely get rid of bumps when you go over them. So I think that is definitely interesting. Man, I just ran into like the biggest bunch of traffic here randomly. Oh, it's 3 o'clock. Okay, that makes a little bit more sense. I'm like, why are there so many people? There shouldn't be this many people. Okay, let's get our full-blown acceleration here. Right to braking, because I got to get right in here. Wow, this thing's fast. This thing is fast. Man, I'm impressed. I seriously am impressed. So yeah, new manual WRX. Despite the cladding, it's really solid. I don't really know of another car all-wheel drive that gives you this amount of fun at this price point. So stop being haters, people. And look, if you get it in black, look at this black one. It hides the cladding pretty well, honestly. Yeah, I like this thing a lot. You should buy one. That's gonna sum things up with our video on this WRX. Super excited that I was finally able to review one. Anyways, a huge shout out and thank you to the Nate Wade Subaru here in Salt Lake City, Utah for giving me some time with this WRX. Check out their info in the description down below. I'll see ya.